Maamar so far, we just began. So the beginning of the Maamar was an overview of the general themes of Rosh Hashanah, the Atem, Nitzovim, Kulchem. The Shaila was that, so it's through the Achtas of Yidden that it pearls Rosh Hashanah, which is being Ba'ir Hashem as Melech from the very source, the very desire, the very Nis'ava HaKadosh Baruch Hu. For Adir B'Tachtenim, which is another way of saying being Melech. So we're being Ba'ir this Ratzon, L'Mlucha, anew every year Rosh Hashanah. And critical to that is the Achtas of Yidden. That's also expressed in the Pasuk, Vayihi B'Shurim Melech, V'Is'aseh Rosh Yom Yachad Shiftei Yisrael. Hashem is king in Yeshurim, a reference to Yidden, when, that's what touches the Pasuk. V'Is'aseh Rosh Yom Yachad Shiftei Yisrael. So when Yidden are united, so this pearls Vayihi B'Shurim Melech. The Shaila of the Maamar was, Hashem becomes king for the people, not in the people. Bishurim. Similar to the Diak of Alter Rebbe in Tanya, in the Geras HaKodesh, in the Pasuk, Morav Tuvcha Shet Safamta L'Reyecha, how great is the goodness you've hidden for those who fear you, as explains the whole Maamar of Tzedakah. And in brackets he says in the Geras HaKodesh, Masha Kosov L'Reyecha, not B'Yerecha. Explains because it's an Eir Makif. And the Eir Makif is not experienced consciously within, but rather envelops the entire person. So it makes the question stronger. Here we're talking about the Eir Makif Mamish, the Shorish Moked Arishan of the Nis'ava HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hence, I should have said, Vayihi L'Yeshurim Melech. Hashem becomes a king for or over the Jews, not Bishurim, in. He answered the question essentially, and then the Lahavin happens in those bays, but the answer is right away in the second paragraph of Beis Aleph, that Rosh Hashanah Takya, this is Nimshach B'Pnimius, and it's Misached with the Yidden, and even though it's a very lofty revelation, but, and this was what he said, he stressed here, through the Achtus of Yidden becoming one, then they themselves become one with this dargeh. As the Zohar says, Kol Yisrael Melachim Hei. Not just B'nai Melachim, like another Gerus about Melachim. Therefore, the Eibishter's Melucha is one with it. All to be explained.
Ursa becomes a mamala
No, all to be explained. It doesn't become a Mala Kalam, that would be nothing gained. Nothing gained if the Tzimtzum pearls on it are saved and become something else. No Chiddush. No. So to see, we'll see. All to be explained. He goes on to say that this is all done through the Avodah of Chiddush Elah near the Doidi, and thereby the Doidi, again, this Eden becoming one with the Eibishter, called Yisod B'nai Melachim, that's conveyed in this pasuk. In one word, Elul means a complete unity of the Anila Doidi Avodah. That's what we say also in Chedesh Elul. Seek my innards. This is the connection of the Pnimis HaNeshama with the Pnimis HaLikus. And that's all the Achanda, the Anida Doidi is the Achanda for Vayihi B'Shurim Melech, which is a Psak Din in Torah. This is a hemshech to the previous Maamar. Why we say the Psukim of Malchi is a Chenis and Shofars, and especially the Shaila is on Shofar, since we actually blow Shofar. But the Indian is that the Torah is a Psak Din, that which a Yid is being pearl actually happens, notwithstanding any arguments for Shinuyim or change, unworthiness, and so on. In the words of the previous Maamar, that the Torah is the chos and the seal of the Melech of the Eibishter, which means that it is such and not subject to change. And what's the Psak Din? Vayihi B'Shurim Melech. That Eden and the Eibishter are one, where the Mat. That requires the seal of Torah to bring about, because obviously it's the most extraordinary chidush that a yid lamata naguf is one with atzmos and mahos that Yisrael and malachim have, that needs the psak din of Torah. To understand all of this, this is an outline. And that's also expressed in Atem, Nitzovim, Hayim Kulchem, Nitzov-Melech, that the emes is so this always brings this as Kayomim, Kiyum. Loshen Nitzov-Melech is a Loshen in, he says in what I said, Moshe Kosev Melachim Aleph. The context there is that the governor, there's no king, and there was a governor in place of the king. That's what Nitzov-Melech there means. So I don't know, maybe the word is, that the word that this, he represents the king, that's the Yid, is Nitzov-Melech. He is one with the king, as the governor represents the king. Not sure, but Chassidus brings us constantly, and I just sparsh the Zach. What exactly is that what do they want to say with this? These words, Nitzov-Melech, but that's the context over there. In Bechlal, it says Nitzovim means Oimdim, we learned this. Oimdim is one thing, but Nitzovim, standing, but you could topple. Nitzovim means to stand firm. What's that I from the Pasuk Nitzov-Melech? How does it add to that? Wash it to Zach, but I don't know. Let's just look into this further. At any rate, so up to Ois Beis, we should start just to repeat it, because we have to look at the pasuk. Look in the middle of Ois Beis, 3 lines down. He brings down from the Shaloh, brings down from the Kadmoinim, and the pasuk Aryeh Shog Milo Yira, the lion roars, who doesn't fear? So say the Kadmoinim brought in Shaloh that the word Aryeh is a remez of Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Ishan Rav. To understand this, he brings the pasuk from Moishe. Let's look at the pasuk. It's by the number 18 in the text, because the Maimon is going to analyze the pasuk, because it refers to the union of the Aryeh, as he brings subsequently other psukim as well. So here it says as follows: Achrei Havaya Yelcho, go after the Eibishter they go, Eden. Ka'ari Yishak, like a lion, he roars. Kihu Yishak, for he roars. So Member points out there's 2 references to the lion here. The first one is Ka'ari, and then Kihu Yishak, a direct reference. Note also that Ka'ari comes after the avodah of Achrei Havaya Yelech. That's one level of avodah to be explained. That elicits Ka'ari Yisha, which is then leads to the darg of Kihu Yisha, and the pasuk continues. V'yechedu bonim miyom, and the children in the west will tremble, and that is further explained. Divides to Yechedu ketzipam mitzrayim, they will tremble like a bird from Egypt. Chayonim meyad, it's Ashur, like a dove from the land of Ashur, Assyria. Ashivoisim el batayim num Hashem and I'll return them to their homes, says the Eibishter, referring to the ingathering to the Geula. So this pasuk is analyzed in detail by the Maimon. We just pointed out the diuk in the Ke'aryeh and Kihu Yisha. Now, Gimel started the Bira Inyan, which we should start again now. Yeah, everybody has it. Is given. Bira Inyan. The Aryeh, the lion, Midalet Chayes Amerkava. It's from the 4 creatures of the chariot. Shenoises Esakise, the bear aloft, the Kise, upon which sits the Adam Elyon. What are the 4 Chayes? As we mentioned yesterday, so it's Pnei. On the right is Pnei Adam and Pnei Aryeh. And on the left is Pnei Sher and Pnei Nesher. Actually, it's not so poshut. There's 4 faces. Each one has 4 faces. The right side It's hard to even understand the Gashmias, even to picture what is being described. So it's very ethereal. It's all. Pella is, friends, that every year talks about this every day. Kodesh and Yumach, it's all from the Chayes and Kodesh. It's part and parcel of our davening from day one. Manche Knesset Agdoila. Okay, so let's begin our journey here. So Pnei Arya Del Yemin. So one thing of Yemin, he explains, it's Giloi Havana Vasog. So Vashaygi mitzad ha'izbonen dos vasog b'chinas bina. The Malachim are an Elam Abriya. The Malachim are an Elam Abriya. The Adam Shalakise is Atzilus. The Kisei is Briya. Actually, they found him is Yitzira. The Kisei is Elam Abriya. The Adam Shalakise is Elam Atzilus. That bread and butter Kabbalah. So this shayga, this cry, these bonadas vasogim b'chinas bina shemeir ba'olam abriya. As explained yesterday, that the dalad olam is atzilus is dominated by chachma, briya by bina, yitzira by the midas, and asiya by malchus. So what dominates olam abriya? Olam abriya, that's Gan Eden Elyon, Gan Eden Elyon actually. Gan Eden Atachton is in my yitzira. Gan Eden Elyon is because that's where a deep havon of vasog and the likus. That's the time of Gan Eden Elyon. Why? Because there is meir bina, and what's bina? Bina is already another shomba malach understanding of likus. Chachma is more gilim ilamayda lamata. Ilam atzilus is already. It's called Ilam Elyon. It's malachim etzloi. It's only tzadikim gedolim. They're not shaykh, the Indians, it be described in such a way as sitting there and in Beziv Ashkin. In such a description, describing already a Metzias of some kind, Shom HaMalach, sitting and enjoying Beziv Ashkin. Elam Atzilus is not Mendim, Beziv Yoshvin, Venanin. Elam Atzilus is Tachnis Abitul, that Tzadikim Gedolim. Shomas Chadoshes. But Akaponim Elam HaBriya is where Bina is revealed, meaning that the relationship with Abishta there is where an other has an appreciation of it. Or to restate that, where Hashem reveals himself in a way that he's comprehensible to another. Comprehensible, not that we know Atzmos. Here, his existence is truth. It's somewhat to be dear some Metzias, somewhat. That's not for now. Akaponim, the the mother rests on the chair. Kursaya is really like a divan, an elaborate chair, a place where you sit. And where's that? That's Bina. That's Bina, and Bina is revealed that the mother's Bina, father's Chachma. Chachma, there's no sitting. Again, this is Yoshvim V'Nenim Beziv Ashkin. If we're sitting, so it's already a degree of separation. Shemnesa, which is connected to Atzilus, that you have to stand. Tachnes a bittel, so much so that he can't even speak. Ad Naisvasei Tiftach, David has to open his mouth. That's what Atzilus is. And so, Advat Pele Mamish, Chaz de Hashem, that we all, daven this every day. Holding, we're not Neshama Atzilus. But we daven, we say Shemnesa, which is Adnes was a tiftach, the avodah v'elam atzilus. But Kriya Shema can be said sitting, and Birchas Kriya Shema, because that's Avon Vasoga, Shema Yisrael, and here the Yisrael, the Yid, we're acknowledging there's a Yid, it is understanding, Havai Lekena Vayachod. So he's sitting, meaning to say that there's the sense of self, not standing in complete bittul all before the king, not in the presence of the king, Mamish Kavayachod. And that's so as a result of this, Avon Vasoga, so he understands the Gewalt of Velikos. So this elicits this cry. The cry means the desire to unite with Elikus and to leave our sense of separation. He understands the emes of Elikus and the gewalt of it. And therefore, the gewalt of, in other words, the kiloyan, so I'm looking for kiloyan.
Longing?
The longing, yeah. The longing to be one with it. That's the cry. And this is the Avodah Samalachim Shebelam Abriya. That's the Srafim. Srafim Leilam Abriya and the Chayes HaKodesh Leilam Yitzir. So what's Leilam Abriya? Shemitzad is born and it's Shalem because they have taken understanding of the emes of Elikus. You understand in the Mulvada. And they understand that therefore they become completely bottled. They're burnt up. They want to burn up their sense of separation. They don't want to feel this way. They become burnt up in that saga. They can completely in this battle from the Mitzias. As we said yesterday, thousands of years, it's the same Avodah. It's a gewaltig Avodah, but as we just pointed out, I'm saying it again now, that a Yid struggle, that's where the real time lies, obviously. A lot of the stuff don't have any choice in this. They're created in Olam HaBriya, they have this grasp, but it engenders this longing, and it's a daily Avodah. Again, why are we quoting it every day? The Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh. I guess the mind will tell us, but basically, because Nefesh HaBahamis comes from there, that's Asher Shemoker, and it's to inspire us to have the same bonus, but for us, it's not a repetition, a merry-go-round, but it's real, even though it doesn't last. Whatever it is, it's real. Whatever degree, it's real. Let's go further here. In the Avodah of the Srafim, Kiyadua ben Srafim, the Mimaloi, so wrapped up. So the Pasuk says in Yeshaya describing the Srafim, this whole Avodah, they stand above him. Who's the him? This is the Adnai Shalakise. This is the Admo Elyon. In the movement, the Shiksha Baal Shem Tov asks, Eich Shayich, Lo Yimashim Reim Dimimala. Does it mean they stand above him? And to be clear what it means, like Pasuk Zeker, Mashakosov Yelmine, the Pasuk, this Pasuk. It follows the one said earlier with the Navi says, Ve'ed, I saw. As Adna Yoshev al Kisa. I saw the Lord sitting upon the throne. In came effective Baal Shem Tov, Eich Shayach Shasov Yoim Mimal Shem Adna. What does it mean they're higher than Shem Adna? Baal Shem Tov explains it in two ways. Because they internalize and understand that their whole mitzvah is only because of the chayes eliki that's creating them. So if you understand that, like he says in Tanya Parakis, about to say in a moment, so by understanding something, you grasp it. And it's within you. Like he says in Tanya, the mile of Torah of the mitzvahs, the person understands halacha. Watch it. Halacha says to do kach v'kach. Even though it's infinite, Hashem's chacham and wisdom. The Kamokim, it explains at length, when he understands it, he's taken ownership, he understands halacha. In his grasp and surrounded by, it's in his mind. At the same time, he goes and explains in Tanya that halacha also surrounds him. Without going to the whole beer, there's a whole arichas and many biyurim on those cryptic lines in Perikei and Tanya. Pashup Pshat is that while you're learning it, you can't think of something else. So the idea is too cold. It is very cold. So one of the biyurim is that one person is learning it, since you can't think of two things, so the idea also surrounds you. The idea surrounded the person, and at the same time, he's surrounded by idea as he grasps it. But that's true of anything. He wants to bring out the yichud niflin tanya of Torah over any concept. So there's many biyurim. First of all, the subject matter. We're talking about the Eibush, but also because of God who says this. I don't know if it's one of the Siddim, that this concept that you learn is blikvul. There's levels to this very idea that remains forever higher, and therefore makif the person. Unlike the understanding of the physical world, you understood something, you grasped it, done. Grade 1, you finish with the textbook. Now it's grade 2. But anything you learn in Torah, there's forever higher and higher levels of understanding of himself. He is stressing the fact that when you understand something, you take it inwards, it's in your head, as opposed to mitzvahs. You don't take a mitzvah in you, you're in the mitzvah. That's what's called the levush. The mitzvah surrounds you. While you're doing this, you can't do something else. The pashtus. The mitzvah surrounds you. But you understand something, it's called bread, lechem, you internalize it. Now, likewise, the serofim, back to this marshal of the halacha. So in this inyan, he's hiding the halacha, because he's grasped it. So he's higher than it. It's in him, and his mind has taken it. You've been a serofim. So likewise, serofim. Because the Bali Asoga, they understand, it's Elam Abriya, it's Elam Abina, they understand the truth. Therefore, that's the pshat, that's what it means, the pasuk, the Navi means, they stand above him, because they've internalized this truth within them. That's one beer of the Baal Shem. Beer is an aspect. This beer is not understood, not enough. Rather, why according to this beer, that they stand above him, it's not that they're holding in their dargah, because they understand, therefore, the concept, the truth they have grasped. It's within them. They're above the truth in the sense that they have grasped the truth, they've taken ownership of it. That's not the simple meaning of the pasuk. They stand on the dark of Mibale, not just they understand it, they're there. Therefore, another beer. This is not Avon the Vasa. This is because they want the famous teaching of the Baal Shem Tov, where you want to be, that's where you are. The Ratzin Eine Ingen Brot. Brot is not a particular faculty, but it's Ingen Kloli that defines the whole person. You know, was willst du? What do you want in life? That's the most critical question. What do you want in life? It embraces everything else that is part of it, that makes you up. As we see, we see that the Ratzin rules and governs all the other koiches. Person is born not many times, right, with a limited intellectual capacity, which he really wants to understand. Like Pusha Lepler, outstanding example of that, became a Givaldige Gaon. He was a simple fellow. He Pusha expanded his mind. It's the most difficult, but it's possible. And nothing stands before one's will. So therefore, it's a what? Not just an Indian proti, but if that's what you want, that's you. And therefore, again, this is the word of the Baal Shem Tov. The place where a person is, that's where he is. He can physically be sitting wherever he is, but if he's rotten, is somewhere else, that's where he is. And hence, so this is the pshat that the Srofim stand above you. Teaches it out now. Adnai is Malchus. So Adnai is the creative force, but they want to know the Eibush not just as creator, but beyond creator. They're holding by that love, since they want to be there, that's the sincere and true desire. Now, we're clear? Adnai again, Adnai is it's Malchus, which is the governing, the creative force. And so their desire is to unite with the creator higher than the creative force, the Eibishter himself. How does this Rotzen come? That they want to go beyond their creative force, that's what they're beyond their shayrish. So, but they is bonus because they understand the Inyan Kiniskav Shmoy Levada, heard the alerts Vishomoy. His name is exalted unto him, his glory upon earth and heaven. What does the pasuk mean? Shem is burning masigim, they understand. Shachai is Elikishim Achaya Oisam, that which brings them into being. Elemabriya, Raka and lower, Raka or Ba'alma, it's only the merest glimmer of Elikos. Chinas Oir, only light. V'shem bilvad, and like a name, which is the most external part of the person. Kaduk v'shem adam, like the name of a person should be an arich l'adam, that's incomparable to the person himself. Ad so much so shekol in Hashem barak b'shvil azulas. Why do you need a name? It's for the other person. Shenifna lekoyde b'shmai. That when you call someone by his name, you get his attention. That's how you get it. They should turn to you. So the other person, doesn't need his name, the other person needs his name. Moreover, Gamlafia Yedua Pnimis in Hashem, a deeper level of the function of a name. Shall Yodi Nasam Shachas Achayis. The name is the chayis of that particular thing. Which is why parents give the name, it's like Ruach HaKodesh. Zem Ashakos Vikar Adam Shemus. That Adam called names to all the creatures. This is how Hashem proved, as it were, to the Malachim that his wisdom is greater than yours. They couldn't give names and he could. What's the big Chachma? He made up names. No, he saw the Shayrish, and therefore he gave the name. Behind the Lefish Hashem, through these letters of Shin, Vav, Resh, and so on. Nimshach HaChayis, that's how the Chayis is drawn. This is not only true of the species, but people, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. So what are we saying? Now, the name Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov is connected to the neshama, the chayis prati of that person, which again, why parents give a name, unbeknownst to them, it's a Ruach HaKodesh, it's a kind of nevuah. How would they know what neshama the child is? Hashem designed it, that's the thing you come up. Now, he's asking kind of a question. We just finished saying that shame is very external. And this is the whole abundance of the Srofim, that they mean that their whole coming into existence is only ahara keniskav shmei levad. Wait a minute. Name is Mamshech Chayis. Nonetheless, he says, so that's the chayda, not in chitzoini, but it is. Hare, we up to here. Huh? Yeah. Hare in is a gufa. This itself, Shadei Hashem Nasam Shachas Achayis, even this, that the name is the vehicle, these letters are the oisias, the kelim by which the chayis is drawn to this person, not just creature. That's also external. Why? What are we doing? The name is the link between the chayis and the guf. And the guf is the outsider compared to the neshama of the person, or for that matter, the nefesh of the creature. Just like the literal meaning of a name. How do you call in Yoni Bishvel Azulis? It's only the other person. That you get his attention by calling his name. It's also true of the inner meaning or effect of what a name means. Because the name, which is the channel for the highest life force into the guf, what is being given into the guf? Is not established in the guf. It's only mere glimmer. Because the guf is an outsider, completely another world to the neshama. And what's the name? Is the link between the neshama and the guf. What level of the neshama is being mechaya the guf? It's only a. So this is their isbonus. So they realize that with all of their gival and the life force that is drawn into them, they feel the highest. But they understand that what? It's all the order, nas at some spilos. So gival, they want to connect to the truth of Elikus, so the Eivish to be hide in the tzimtzum. In other words, and therefore, because their desire is to connect to the Eivish beyond his shame, but he himself, because that's their rotzen, then they're there. Clear? Yeah. However, this is not the true shaiga. This is not the true gewalt. This is not the true longing. The gagui, it's not. Because my spilus, my saga seichel nifla, spilus, which comes as a result of a deep understanding, ain't the beifin shel shaiga. That does not engender a cry. It's wow, fantastic, beautiful. But shaiga means akishrei, that's completely beyond seich. And that's mashakosov ke'arya yisha. That's why the pasuk begins with, like the lion roars, shai karya yisha. I'm sorry, opposite. Marsha, he said the scissors. I'm sorry. Marsha Kosov, Karya Yishog, he's saying now, period, that this kind of hispilos is nothing of Yishog, period. Because it's engendered by understanding. It's inspiring. And it's a wow factor. But he's not gonna jump off his seat and it's not gonna engender the shtus the kedusha. That's the yishog, the cry. Marsha Kosov Kari Yishog Shage Davke Harized Davke Masog as Dovan Nailish Ben Arich Klau. That comes as a result of Asoga in that which is completely beyond. Then explains that. Shage is Arya body they say. So what does the cry come from? So first they understand that their chayis is only a ha'or. Now comes Take's bonus. Still, but this is going to be Take Ke Arya, but it's still his bonus. What is bonus now? So they're being misburdened in the blikvul. It's not a direct understanding, but the shoilo, anything that's related to the order, which has the tzimtzum and has a tzir. So there's an intellectual appreciation of the blikvulness of Elikus. Here there is bonus in the wonder of the Pele, of Velikus that's higher than the highest that engenders them. That's the shaykh. So that's the first dark. Let me just go back there to get this clear. Only my spiders, my sogish, sich nifla in the befen shel shaykh. So he just spelled out first. First, the being is burning. It wasn't clear. I'm going to make it clear. First, the being is burning in their whole existence is only a ha'ara. No spiralus there. It doesn't engender spiralus. The spiralus is then these bonus in the bligvulness of Velikus that's totally beyond it. That is pearl. That's not understanding. But as it goes on to say, it's Ari Yisha. Staka is bonus. He's thinking about bligvul. In what make we think about bligvul? In the way that it is higher, and any limitations, we strip it of all language and so on. So it pearls Ari Yisha.
If it's an understanding, and what are the two levels? You said first there's a level of Seifel and then in Ratzon. So
he's going to go back to that. It seems going to go back to that. So far we're not. This is Seifel. Ratzon, which is higher than his bonus altogether, that is the emissary. Shagas Ari, as we'll see going forward. It's already